Hello. I think you can hear me. Hopefully. Let me put my audio in. My audio is not on. Okay. Oh. Yes. Hello. And welcome to N1P Podcasts. Today's session is going to be about how we can build a stronger resilience and effectiveness in the African diaspora community, in the diaspora, both at home and abroad. And yes, I will start the actual streaming and I will share this with friends if people want to come in. We're also going to discuss a lot of things that are actually very prominent in socioeconomic troubled areas, have issues with poverty, etc. So yeah, I'm just going to start the session, and if people jumps in, they jump in and say hi if they have any questions. I will just continue this live session that I'm going to have. I know that there will be a lot of people that will listen to this afterwards, and if you do, please join the Discord server, which is going to be in the link in the chat box. I will put that one up as well. And if you haven't joined yet on Discord, I would really assure you that you need to jump in and join the Discord server that we have in Greatest Africa, where we inspire people with educational emphasis on certain topics, like, for example, computer technology. We speak about world news and African news. We're speaking about African investments. We're speaking about African music. Sometimes if people have some music, they put the music into the server as well. We have a voice chat for a lot of different ethnicities. And please, guys, if you guys want to add an ethnicity to the ethnicity discussions, I would like you to put that on the on Speak Your Mind section or channel of that server, which is the Discord server, Greatest Africa. We also have a section called Knowledge of Self, where we speak about prehistoric artifacts. We're speaking about African connection in a way that, Africans can connect people from the diaspora and in the continent to get, familiar with how things are in the continent and what we want to achieve as a continent. Also seeing some other stuff here in Knowledge of Self channel section. You have African Love That Matters as well. We have Pan-Africanism, and we have African Lingua. Pan-Africanism is something that we are enforcing a lot in the server, speaking about a lot. The concept of Pan-Africanism started way back in the 1800s, early 1900s in America, actually. So it started in America and formed and formalized in the Caribbean as well, to then become practical in Africa. So it went from two other sections into Africa, and then that movement started with a lot of great leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Kenya, Kenyan leader Jomo Kenyatta. You have Mohamed Agal. You have Patrice Lumumba, and a lot of other Pan-African leaders that sprung up in the 60s, wanting independence for their countries. And they got independence in their countries using the strategies of Pan-Africanism. And a result of Pan-Africanism is the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, which was also founded with the late King Haile Selassie as well. And also there was another many Pan-African, struggles that have gone through Africa. For example, the help that went to South Africa, which was the Mandela struggle before the apartheid, got eradicated. Mandela himself got trained in another country in Africa, which was Ethiopia as well. So, and also you have in Ethiopia, you have a place called Shashamane. It's not many people that know about this city or area or region of Ethiopia. This land was actually also given by the late King Haile Selassie to the African diaspora across the world for them to come to a place where they feel that they are home and can start rebuilding and, at the end, repatriate as well. Hello, Red. What's going on? You got the link. You can join the chat if you want to. You're more than welcome to join into the chat as well and be a part of this discussion that we're going to have today, speaking about Pan-Africanism and its effect on Africans and the Africans in the diaspora. I want to say hi and welcome to one of my Pan-African brothers and soldiers in the struggle. he goes by the name Kale in the Discord server. Welcome, Kale. Welcome to this chat or stream that we're going to have today, with the views of getting as many people that are from African descent to join us in the Pan-African struggle and letting people to understand that it's not that we want to exclude everyone else, but is that we need to find a commonality within the diaspora so that we can have a place for us to sit and discuss and also mutually, come together in a way, because we need to find that space where we can speak about these very important issues concerning our communities all over the world, and also letting people understand how much they can actually, achieve by just being a part of this unique struggle that we are going through and have gone through for the past 100 years in Europe and abroad. Greetings, Mr. IC3. You can also join the chat if you want to. I'm not sure if I put the actual link up. I will put that link up for you as well. If you guys feel that you want to join the chat and you want to discuss as well, you're more than likely to come in and join the chat and have your say, because this is a place for us to actually discuss things that matters. Hence the reason why We call it open baskets. We want to spill the beans. We want to be not controversial, but we need to be more open to have these dialogues so that we can go forward in the struggle itself. And I'm very happy to see you guys in the stream and in this live stream tonight. And yeah, going forward, um, we are going to discuss certain topics. As I said in the chat before, we are going to discuss uh, how to build a stronger resilience and effectiveness in the African community, in the diaspora, home and abroad. So, how can we build a resilient, stronger, resilient, and more effective economical system in the African communities across the world? Because when I see African communities, and I've been in many places on this earth, I see in some places that a concept like Ubuntu is actually being used. It's a concept that came from Southern Africa, Ubuntu, which is a word coming out of Abantu, and Abantu means the people or the people, and it's a concept where we are gathering collectively the force that we need to collect in order for us to fight any economical obstacle that is in front of us in the diaspora and abroad. And these are the things that we are going to discuss today. It's very easy, very simple, but very, very important. We have had discussions about classism and if that is somewhat interconnected with the struggle of the financial and economic effectiveness of the African community. And we know that it is. So classism and racism, they're not the same thing, but they do intertwine in many ways. Social stigmas are something that also plays a big role in this as well. So I'm just going to summarize a paper that was written by Roni, and I will put this on the link on the chat as well. You can find this on JSTOR, and it talks about the community and anti-poverty strategies in order for us to combat poverty in a poverty-stricken community. Hello and welcome, IC3. Welcome, welcome. I'll put the link here for you guys so you can.
Greetings. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, thank you. Do you have anything to add on effectiveness, resilience, how we can build stronger resilience within African communities?
I have some ideas, and
Yeah,
I'd like to discuss them with you. Get your feedback.
yeah,
Get people's feedback on these ideas.
yeah,
Right. So I'm trying to look at it from a different angle,
yeah.
kind of like maths and logic. So basically, if you have an entity,
Mm,
so Africa
mm,
is not conceived as a whole entity. There's lots of
yeah,
nations and peoples and tribes
yeah,
in Africa and ethnicities,
yeah,
and I hear the chant all the time that, oh, they have to unite Africa.
mm,
um, and then once So Africa appears to be, when people say Africa,
mm,
they're really talking about the landmass,
mm,
um, but everybody there is not really identifying as um, effectively as African,
mm.
because for there to be, like, for example, the African Union, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a unity of Africans, but if you ask them what is the definition of an African,
Mm,
it's not clear.
mm,
So fundamentally, you have to clarify
mm.
what it is you're trying to unite.
Mm.
Because
Yep.
if anybody can claim to be African,
Mm,
um, then what value is the word itself?
mm,
So are white people African? They claim to be African, yeah, because they can say, well, we're born on the
mm,
continent.
mm,
Asian people can say they're African.
mm,
Say, we were born here in Kenya.
mm,
So uh, the first thing, the foundation, is the
mm,
clarification, which
mm.
is a hot topic. Would you agree with that as a first step?
Most definitely. I would agree 100% that people need to understand what African actually means. And from the definition of African, we can understand that African belongs to the people that lives in the continent Africa. Yes, and
Okay,
it's
so you say,
and it's
one, people that live in the
mhm,
continent. Oh, so let's
relative,
write this down.
relative,
Let's write it down. Living,
relating to
one.
the continent of Africa, relating
Okay,
to, yeah. So
living
also
living in the continent. Okay, what else?
yeah, relating to the people in the continent. So it doesn't really matter if you live there or not, as long as you have some form of bond with the continent through history or through DNA. You can call
Okay.
yourself African. Yeah. So
Okay,
African
so
also means
an Asian can say,
mm, mm,
in from Kenya, or a
mm,
white South African
mm,
can say, yes, I have a bond with the continent.
yeah.
So you would include them as well, yeah?
No, I wouldn't because
Yeah.
because because
Come on then, I'm
there's another,
listening.
yeah, there's another thing that also goes into being an African, or the definition of it. And you have to, I mean, you have to be a black person or people of black color in order for you to identify yourself as being of an African identity. And I understand 100% when you're saying identity, because that is actually what the founders of the organization of Pan-Africanism actually wanted. Yeah, was
Mm.
to create that African identity.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's what
Yeah.
we need to do first before we do
You're right.
any type of work. We need to find that identity, their common identity, and the commonality of that identity. Because when we
Yeah.
have the identity in lock, yeah,
Yeah.
what people can do is to start collectivizing on certain things.
Yes,
Now,
definitely.
now we are a collective. And if we are a collective, it means that we have a greater force economically, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
racially as well, around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And also, we can also be stronger as a united force. Even though people think, oh, some people from East Africa don't like people from West Africa, or West Africans don't like East Africans, or
Yeah.
North Africans having problems with all Africans.
Yeah.
I think we have to, go to the nitty gritty of this. So the African identity is being very, very wide as well, and opposed to the Western individualism, yeah,
Right.
and communalism, uh, as opposed to collectivism. So
Right.
African self is rooted in the familyhood. So we need to
Right.
find some form,
Yeah.
that's why we call ourselves brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Because That is why we call ourselves brothers and sisters. Is because we need to find an identity, and to find that identity, you need to familiarize with your own group. You have to
Yeah. Family,
create
like
a
family. That's
familyhood.
right.
Yes,
Yeah, that's right.
exactly,
Now,
exactly.
go on.
What is a solution? Pick up to the elder IC3.
Okay.
Is
Brother
that
Kale.
do you remember IC3 when you was at school? I know this happened in my era. Is that they would have like study partners, where, for example, they will get like a French student to basically be your study buddy in England, or
Oh,
someone.
yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember that, or Germany, things like that was in
Yeah,
my
that's right. That's
was in
right.
your
Yeah.
era as well, right? And perhaps we could do the same thing when it comes to us in the diaspora as well as the continent.
Interesting.
Is that we
Interesting.
go out and be each other's study partners, where we be formulating a book club where you go out and okay, I'm going to be around the Senegalese or the Guyanese and Nigerian or the Jamaicans, right? Or the Somalians, the Ethiopians, the South Africans, the Congolese, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you make a day, or you do it weekly, like how we used to do at school in regards to, study buddy with the French or the German.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do that in human form, then it has to be in digital form on WhatsApp groups. But I believe that would be the solution for us to connect, so we can get familiarized with each other, familiarize that we are one, but at the same time getting to know each other. Something on those blueprints would recommend to connect.
Yeah, because they're tried and tested. That's right. I like the way because these models that you're mentioning are tried and tested models that government encourage, and yeah. So yeah, we can learn. So this thing about identity is a very hot, very
Topic.
hot
Yeah,
topic.
very hot topic. Yeah, and also
Yeah, it's the hottest topic.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's controversial, but it's good for us, man. We need this. We need to find a commonality. We need to find a common space where we can speak together. And actually come to a conclusion. Maybe not. This might be not, but might be so practical. But at the end of the day, this might be a blueprint for people to use, and in order for them to try to understand themselves better. That's why it's good for us to have this constructive talks about Africa and African identity, Pan-Africanism, etc. I saw a question from GOJ. He's not coming in. He might come in later on, he said.
Okay.
He's talking about us using a white construct. Africa, the word itself is what GOJ thinks is white construct. Yeah, I'm with him in many ways,
I've heard that.
because
That's right.
Africa came, or the name Africa came from Rome.
Like that.
It came from Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a Roman general that named the continent after him. So we should maybe use another term of Africa, maybe Akibulan, like they have in Ghana or in other countries, or maybe use the term Ubuntu, as they've done in Southern Africa, where they finding the commonalities within their own culture, and also the collectiveness of the Bantu, or every people in Africa. Abantu means the people.
All due respect to Brother Kusha, and for the
Yeah.
host, is that someone mentioned that Africa was constructed, the name, by the Europeans.
Yeah.
But when we go into the Nile Valley, and we understand that it was used there, and the Nile Valley being older than Rome, is that Africa means Af from Ra, God, Ka, spirit. So it predates Rome, Greece. Although there were different names, like Ethiopia is one of the names.
Yep, exactly. That's actually the original name. to be honest.
But we have to be very careful that it comes
Yeah.
from the valley.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it wasn't
I didn't
constructed.
know.
Say that
I didn't
again.
know that
Say that
Africa
word again.
came
You
from
said
Nile. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Comes from the Nile Valley.
Brother
It
Ken.
means Af, from Ra, God, Cat, spirit. It's it's from the Nile Valley. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Okay. Because I know that if you look at, for example,
Ka,
Cushitic languages
spirit.
like Somali and Oromo,
Ra,
they have
Ka,
something called, their language. When they
Afra,
speak,
Ka.
they say Af Somal or Af Oromo.
What does
And
that mean?
it means actually
Af.
the tongue. It means the tongue, the language.
Oh, right.
Af means tongue. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Afra,
Yeah.
Ka.
Africa. It might be, that might be something within what he's saying
Yeah.
as well. It's
Afra, Ka.
it's something. That's why I'm telling you this is very
Ra.
important for us. Yeah, to have these discussions so that we
Yeah,
can
because these
build the
certain things come out.
identity. Yeah, it needs to come out, bro. We have many.
Yeah.
We have Kemet. We have Ethiop. Ethiop is another name. The Greek name is a Greek name actually. Came
Right.
from the Greek. Herodotus called us Ethiops. Ethiop just means sun-kissed. So if you
Okay.
kissed by the sun, that's
Right.
what Ethiop actually means. Is
Right.
Yeah,
that
the African ancestors say those who are kissed by the sun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So those who were kissed by the sun were called Ethiops, and these people were stretching from east to west. That's what he said in his text Herodotus, which means it was even outside of Africa. So he meant the whole equator, like the whole equator itself,
Right.
from east to west, is where you can find Ethiop people.
Right.
So
So
you
when you
will find them.
mentioned,
Yeah.
go on.
So you
When
will
you
find.
mentioned,
Sorry.
go on.
You will
Let me
find
finish.
Ethiopian people in Africa, India, Southeast Asia, all the way to the islands, Pacific Islands, and all the way to the Americas, to be honest. So all of these places that we see today were many times colonized by our own kind. But there's something that people don't speak about a lot. But it's inside the scriptures, old scriptures of the Sanskrit scriptures of the Hindu scriptures in the Indus Valley, or Indus Kush is what they actually call it. And people don't understand that as well. Like, what? Indus Kush? Yeah, it stems from the land of Kush.
That's
And
right.
yeah, and they actually used to have colonies in other parts of the world. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you mentioned Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Yeah.
Yeah. So see for that word to have power, yeah. For that
Yeah.
word to have power,
Yeah.
to say that if it means us together,
Yeah.
yeah, then it means if it's the us, then there's us, and there's then those that are outside of us. So there's us, and then there's them. Yeah,
Yeah.
us and them. Ubuntu means us getting
Yes.
together, as far as I
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
and stop being divided by them.
Yeah.
Right, so there's them and us. Okay, so for
Yeah.
Ubuntu to have power,
Mm.
you have to be able to accurately define who the us are,
Mm.
because if anybody can claim to be part of the us, that's why I put this up there. Us how, we who, our what. See this word us, we, our. See these words are constantly used. We need to unify. That's not us. Our. You see, we keep using these words, but people are afraid to clarify exactly who the us are, because that's when the fire, the bomb kicks off. Because there's people start saying, but wait a minute, why aren't you including me? How about that? How about them? That's when it all
yeah,
kicks off. But when you say us, it just sounds so nice. It's just like, oh yes, and everybody can feel that we're part of the us and we and
yeah,
our, and it's just such a nice word. But when you
yeah,
start to get down to the nitty gritty,
yeah.
it's a
That's when the dividing
serious
comes.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
So it's power.
Yeah.
Everybody understands the power of us,
Mm,
we, and
mm,
our.
mm,
It's the word that fundamentally means organization. The most organized win.
mm,
For power, organization is the vessel that holds the people
mm,
together. So there's
mm.
people in the vessel and people out of the vessel.
Yes.
So the white supremacists, they constructed a vessel
Mm,
to hold themselves in, to hold their power together.
mm,
And with that vessel that they've constructed, they could just beat up Africa, Berlin
mm.
Conference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Who's getting
yeah.
into the conference? Who's
Mm,
allowed in?
mm,
It's us, we, and our.
mm.
So, Aldo, could we
Powerful,
say
powerful.
that in order to clarify the us, the we, and the ours, we
Mm,
have to mark it and make it very clear those who were kissed by the sun first.
mm,
Because we know that there's second, third, and fourths, and even fifths, but not one of them can be the first. So if we say that
mm,
those who were kissed by the sun first, it will eliminate second, third, fourth, and fifth. Because the elder is correct. I have noticed that there are many other people who can claim that they're kissed by the sun. You see,
mm, mm,
they can claim it. You see, but we need to be politically scientific. How do we get them to exclaim respectfully
mm,
to them? And this is
mm,
where kiss by the sun first must be campaigned. Because I do agree with the elder IC3 and his blueprint, which I advocate and I'm a fan of because it's very educational. Because a lot of the youth, I'll be honest with you, as it pertains in UK, they don't understand the code. When the system phones in, we got a problem.
mm,
Alpha Roger, it's IC3. A lot of them don't understand what that is.
mm.
So you have to give credit and homage to the elder for breaking it down. Because these things we can pass on to our kids to make them understand the law of the land.
Yeah, man.
So like how he's got IC1, IC2, and IC3 beautifully structured, there must be those who were kissed by the sun first to eliminate second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, 10.
That's right.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can organize effectively.
yeah,
It's clear,
yeah.
you know.
And I think it's a very important discussion that we have because this actually not only sets the tone, but it also makes it easier for others to understand us more. And that
Yes.
is something that we need. That's the
Yes.
thing what people don't understand is that when we have these discussions, people think, oh, it's not going to be practical. You guys are just, talking rubbish.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, this is actually help, and this help can actually help others.
Yes.
And if you can help one, you have achieved more
Yes.
than
Definitely.
not helping anyone at all.
That's
So
right.
you have done a lot of work just by sitting here
And
and and
talking.
and,
Yeah.
and talking. Yeah.
Yes. Can I back you up
Yeah.
on that point? Because
Yeah.
the rulers, the elite, what do? They rule by think tanks.
Yeah.
They have think tanks and conferences. That's what they do. They go from one meeting to the next, talking
Yep.
about how to manage and wield power.
Yep.
Because it's by their tongue. By their tongue, they wield huge force. Their tongue and their pen
Mm.
So you could be running around and say, oh, the people running around and say, oh, too much talking. But those in power, they don't even use a gun. But they can
Mm.
set a whole army after you
Mm.
just by a tongue, pick up the phone or sign something. They can wipe out thousands of people.
Mm.
And so the propaganda of the tongue and of the pen
Yeah.
decides which way the guns are pointing.
Mm.
The tongue and the pen decides when the guns will be fired.
Mm.
So talk, nothing else.
Yeah. And I think it's good for us to do because the mouthpiece can also be a piece. It's a piece by itself. So the
Yes, that's right.
mouthpiece is a piece by itself. You understand?
That's right.
So
I like that. Yeah.
it's powerful, brother. Every word
Yeah.
is power. So when you speak about words, it brings me back to when I used to organize on the streets. Telling people do not use certain words because these words, they are linked to something else. They are
Yeah.
linked to something that you would not like yourself to be. So
Yeah.
that's why we always said to people, go back and check the word. What is the word? What is the meaning of the word? Because if you don't understand the meaning of the word that you are using, you don't understand the power of it. You don't understand the power of it, then it is in the wrong hands. And if you have a piece in the wrong hands, you know what can happen. Disasters. So that's why it's good for us to use etymology as well, to break
Yeah.
down words so that people can understand what the words actually mean. For example, barbaric. What does that actually mean? Etymology of the word barbaric comes actually from the word barbar or berber. Berber. It comes from Berbs. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Barbaric. The way of the
the Berbers,
Berbs. Yeah, the way of the Berbers or the way of the
the North
foreigners.
Africans back then.
No, yeah, yeah, because they looked at them as foreigners when they came in to Andalus. You
Right.
remember when? Yeah, you remember the whole empire when they went into Andalus, and you had Moors and you had, Africans coming into Spain and building fortresses and building,
Yeah.
this empire that was there for more than 800
And
years.
and Hannibal as
800,
well.
800 years. They built universities, first ever universities in Europe, which was called the madrasas. Yeah, you had the first in Northern Europe. You had the first hammams, shower places where people came in to shower to clean themselves up. You have inventions like the soap, and the soap itself was introduced into the European standard, because back in the days they didn't actually use soap to clean themselves. You know, did you
Right.
guys know that, or was that is
Yeah, I
this new
heard
to
that
you?
before. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
know that, bro. For sure.
Many
Appreciate you
times,
sharing.
many times they used milk to clean themselves, or
Yes.
bath in milk, or use powder. That's
Or black.
why powder was used to cover what? Cover dirt. They had to cover dirt that was in
Yeah.
on the skin by using powder. Yeah, that's why the powder became famous as uh you know as a cosmetic
Yeah.
in France and in different places in Europe. But before that, they didn't even have the concept of cleaning like that. In the way that people from the Oriental did when they
Yeah.
had water fountains. They don't know what the hell this is. Water
Yeah.
fountain. We don't know what this is. How did you get
Yeah.
water running the way it's running? You know. Yes, we
Mm.
can give credit to the Romans. We can give credit to the Greeks, but it all comes back to the continent of Africa, where we have alchem. Alchemy. Alchemy it comes from Egypt. It's the science of Egypt.
Yeah,
Alchem.
I'm aware of these things.
Alchem. Yeah, you're aware of this, maybe.
Yeah,
Kusha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brother Kusha.
Yeah.
The word share is a very interesting word, right?
Share.
And the word share, yeah. And
Share.
we need to have a way of saying one word that will keep us codified to collect our empowerment when they decide to make a phone call, as what the elder IC3 was saying, that things are done by the phone now, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when it came to Gaddafi, it was done by the phone. You see, it came to controlling things, it was done by the phone. Now, if things are done by the phone due to them controlling things, then we must have a language that's not too long as it pertains to paragraphs, but must be one word. When we hear the word share, it must tell the African descendants, share economics,
Share. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Share the power. This one word share, we need to have an understanding how to use one word that can, as it pertains to paragraphs. So, for example, if I see the elder IC3,
like
and I say to and the elder IC3 comes up with a blueprint of IC3, we've got to get to a level where I say to him, share, and he'll be like, yes. Do you understand? Where the share encompasses
power, one word.
Power, economics, security. We need to have something like that, Brother Kusha, where we don't have to talk, because it's true what the elder said, we talk too much.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got to get like military. Yes, serious point.
But if we use one word, share, right? This is a code, share. We understand what sharing means, because when you understand share, it can comprise of sharing or shared. You see, past, present, and future. This one word must be a terminology of organizing economics, organizing the power, organizing security. So when they do make that phone call, as what Elder IC3 said, which they keep doing, all we say is share, and we should be able to combat that.
Yes. Can I back you up on this, on that, the concept? Whilst I've been campaigning over the years, I've met a few people in the military, and they say that their communications is the ABC. The ABC. So what's the ABC? The ABC in communications in the military, A stands for accuracy, B stands for brevity, and C stands for clarity. Yeah, accuracy, brevity, and clarity. And what they're saying is that it's the most important thing, because it's your life is dependent. So you can't. So if the enemy is coming from your left, right? They were telling me, the military people were telling me, if the enemy is coming, attacking from the left, right? You can't be saying over there. No. You just got to say. You just got to say 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Yeah. So they're trained on using the clock face to show directions. So if they're walking ahead, the military, what they learned to do, if somebody's shooting, coming to attack you from the back of you, but towards the right, you can't be start saying, look over here. No. You could be over here where you could be dead by then. You've got to be bang on straight away, quick. Accuracy, brevity, accuracy. So if somebody's coming from the back left, back right, you've got to say 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah,
5 o'clock, straight away. 5. And that means that person can turn. You can turn with the gun and concentrate fire in that direction. And even if you can't see, you just spray. The
Yeah,
bullets.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be 4 or 5, but you know more or less which directions. All of you turn around.
Yeah.
And it's your life. So we learn from, that's why I always listen to military people like God of Jacob, because these people, it's their life is at stake. There can't be no waffling and no feelings.
Yeah, you're 100% correct, my friend. You're on spot, mate.
Yeah. So it's not me that's correct. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to them.
Yeah. But you're correct as well.
ABC.
By saying that, it's very important. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So to expand on the share, the whole attitude is right. The brevity, yeah, because it's not long phone calls. When you pick up that phone and they say, wipe these people out. It's not a long talk.
No, we can't say that as well, because we're not, we don't want to do that. Like, we want to have self-determination in a
Defend.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have self-determination in a way. We need to start, have control. Because the thing is, what people don't understand is that when you have control, then you can actually do more. That's why we need to focus on control more than anything else.
That's
So
right.
control the economy in our community, for example. That is a powerful force.
Yeah.
That has, you have to reckon with, economics. The power economics is huge. Your dollar or your pound, talks. You understand? And the more we unify our pound or dollar in our community, the stronger the community will become.
That's right. If you're organized.
If you organize, yes. And that's why,
So
that's why we need to have people like me, like you, like everyone else that are thinking in a Pan-African, manner to collectively, find the means to buy up certain properties or buy up certain, quarters of, for example, London or wherever we are right now, to buy a little community, like buy, a couple of houses and build a community.
That's easy though. That's the easy bit.
Yeah.
Buying property as a community is easy if you can organize the community.
Yeah.
But you can't define the community. If you can't define the community, you can't pool the money together. So you might as well go Barclays Bank.
Yeah, exactly. And
Can I challenge Brother Kale?
Challenge, bro. Challenge. This is open basket, guys. Just, spill the beans.
Challenge Brother Kale. He said, kissed by the sun.
Yeah.
Now, there are Asian people, I see 4, that are dark skinned. I think it's what they call the Tamil.
Yeah. Not only them, there's many of them in India. Many.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So if you say kissed by the sun, people will say, okay, so they're talking about people of dark skin, darker hue. If you say kissed by the sun, people start saying, well, I'm sun kissed. What do you mean by kissed by the sun? Do you mean melanated? Do you mean dark skin? Do you mean people that are sun tanned? People say, I'm kissed by the sun because I tan well. You see? So then you get into a debate. So what I want to challenge is say the most effective way is to you've got to say what you are and also say what you're not. So you're defining the other. So basically, when the Asian comes, says, "Oh yeah, I said no, but you're an Asian. You're not one of us." When the Chinese come, we say, "Oh, you're Chinese. You're not one of us."
Yeah.
When the European comes, what you've got to be able to say this is what you are, and this is what
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very painful thing to say. You are not one of us. It's a very serious thing statement.
Well, here's the thing, Alda. You mentioned about the Tamil, and we have to focus before the Tamil, the Jarawa and
Yeah.
Santali, who settled in that region from the beautiful East Africa. You see, brother, when we say kissed by the sun first, you see, brother, the
Oh, put
first,
first, right? Okay.
because that's what I was saying in the beginning, in the dialogue, because you've got second, third, fourth, fifth. You see, there are many people who are kissed by it. We know this. You've got the Asians, the Middle Eastern, and even some of the Europeans. But when we campaign, you see, we have IC3-1, IC3-2, IC3-3, right? But you see, when we say kissed by the sun first, that the Gadwa Santanese, they came from the place where they were kissed by the sun first and settled
Right.
in India first. So anything after that was kissed second, third, and fourth. But
Right.
they,
I understand now. That's
you
right.
understand?
Okay.
This is how we
First. It's that
codify it.
word. I missed the word when you said first.
Yeah, I said it in the dialogue before, but yes,
Right. Right. But I
that's
missed that. I didn't hear it. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Kissed by the sun first.
Yeah.
Race first.
Yeah.
First. That word. Yeah. First. Oh my God. That's a fiery word, Who's first? Who came first in the race?
Yeah.
Fiery.
Who came first? So yeah, I mean, like you said
First
as well.
class.
Yeah, like you said as well. Like we have to identify. That's why it's very important for us to have that African identity, in a way, and that's what we are forming right now. We are actually like trying to form this African community or African diaspora, Ethiop community.
Yeah.
And I want to also just give you guys a question. If you guys, what is your what is your belief on the different parts of Africa uniting? Like, for example, the southern part of Africa can unite more economically. Same with the eastern part of Africa can unite economically. Northern part of Africa joining economically. Western part of Africa joining economically. Do you guys think we should, find first use the regions as economical hubs and form a united, um, currency within those areas, and then form a united currency for the whole continent, forming the United States of Africa, which was the aspiration of our beloved Pan-African leaders back in the days. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Yes, I think that's good, but
Yeah,
it's how to do it. How? Yeah.
yeah,
So I think quite a few of us would say yes,
yeah.
but we have to think right now. Okay, now we agree. How? How
Mm,
can we do it? So
mm.
that's my bit. That's what I have to say to
I
How do
say
we?
no, 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 no.
No, no, no. So
that.
how come you have to elaborate now, GOJ?
Trust me, GOJ will get to the business of
Good, good,
elaborating.
good, good, good. So what's your
Now,
thoughts on it? Yeah,
my thought is you have to scratch Africa. It's 2022.
yeah,
Anything we do should be in business, in interest, sort of
yeah,
like the United Nations. If you try to galvanize under Africa today, it won't work,
mm,
right? So
yeah,
Business.
we should be able to come together under a name,
mm,
an operational name, where
mm,
Right.
everybody might buy into it. Because if you come pushing Africa in these here United States, where every nigga over here is a Hebrew, is a Islam, is a Muslim,
Yeah.
is it this, is it that, is an African,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. So you
mm,
better come with an
Right.
operational name, And you better be principled, i.e., we will come together in defense of sovereignty, in defense of economic boycotts and stuff like that. But to umbrella us under Africa and under melanated skin in 2022, when all these labels is floating around, you are insane.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
We have to break
I
down
tend
the
to
word
agree.
insane as well, because
You
when
are Kusha, whatever your name is. That is the
Yeah.
definition of insane.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Brother
What's
Kale?
your thought on that, Kale? If you're still in, you might be off for a minute.
I'm more close to the IC3's model because it eliminates Africa and is operating under a code name, although he ripped it off from somebody, but still, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Good.
just
Good.
yeah, and the reason it's just a code is because if you try and use words, some people even in the Caribbean, they just don't want to be associated with Africa. That word, they just don't like it.
Yeah.
So so as soon as they hear it, it's like negative straight away. But a code is just cold. It's just functional. It's just like a number on your bank card.
Yep.
You see, it's just a code. So plus, when you mention a code, it doesn't seem you're not trying to rob the people of their identity and their ethnicity.
Ethnocide, you're right.
You see, because the IC3 is just like it's just like a work clothes or uniform or something you put on to go to work, or a helmet. It's like a helmet. It's just like it's just a code. But you can be IC3 Somali, IC3 Nigerian, IC3 American, IC3 Caribbean, IC3 Jamaican. You see, it doesn't take away people's
ethnicities and where
it doesn't take that away.
If
you say African Jamaican or African American, or African Black American or African, African Somali will roll. But if you start going with the diaspora, it's not going to roll. You got to link up the land and the diaspora all together.
Yeah. So how can we? So can we just have a name? Just call ourselves Africans. I think.
Brother, it ain't gonna fly over here. The temperature over here.
No, they don't like it.
Not
They don't
working.
like
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to help you
like
out,
it.
save you some heartache.
Yeah.
African Union, for the people on the continent, but the people in the diaspora, they don't like it. They don't like it.
So what should we call ourselves then? That's
call yourselves what you are, but just tag in IC3 as a operational. So, but basically, when you go to work, when you go to work, they say if you're working on a building site, if you're trying to construct something, you put on the construction uniform. Yeah. So you have to wear a helmet, then you have to wear that bright yellow vest or orange vest. But you're not going to wear that when you go out partying with your friends, are you? They take that off. You take your work clothes off. And what you are is still underneath the uniform. The uniform is just put on. The work clothes are put on to get the job done. And the job is to neutralize white supremacy. It's a job. The Africans cannot operate. They cannot control their gold mines. They cannot control their diamond mines. They can't control their own land and their own people and their own drugs and their own medicine and their own hospital. They can't control it until they sort out the job of the white supremacist races and their impact on the African economy. It's a job that's got to be done. You got to kick out the enemy of the culture. It's a job. Once you've done the job, then people can get back to sorting themselves out, teaching their children, setting up schools, bringing back cultural music, bringing back cultural. You can start. People will sort themselves out. I mean, black people sort themselves out if they get left alone. You see? So we don't need to be pushing this. Just give the people space, and they will sort themselves out. You see, we can learn from what happens with the Americans. Yeah, the white supremacist says, "Oh, we don't like these African these slave descendants, black, these niggers. We don't like these niggers, right? We don't like them. So I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them anywhere. I don't want to see them anywhere near me. We don't want to see them around here. We don't want them in our village. We don't want them drinking from our water. We don't want them voting in our government. We don't want them around. Kick them, leave them over there, right? What happened? What happened then? When they left the black people alone, and the black people said, "Okay, we won't be part of black society,
we got
white
busy.
society."
We got busy.
What happened? They built whole towns by themselves
across America. All these Wall Streets. Tulsa is famous because it got bombed, but we was building all across this thing.
Yeah, you see. So and then,
do you have any other examples?
What did the white supremacists learn? They said, "You know what? These people, we've got to be in amongst them. You can't afford to leave them alone." Because if you leave them alone, you lose control of them, and then they get powerful.
I'm just saying, I'm with you. IC3, I'm with you. Like my last mission in the Horn, and I'm for your concept. And we had an operational name, and then we had our individual names. Mine was called Bootstrap. You get what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah, I won't tell you how I got it, but it was called Bootstrap. Right? But our operational name, and I just throw it out there because I don't want to. Let's call it Teardrop. It was Operational Teardrop, and my name was Bootstrap. So when you heard your name, Bootstrap, 3642 degrees, you knew where you had to be at. You get what I'm saying? So you keep your individuality, but you're up under an operational name. Because sometimes there was multi operations going on. You come across that net and you hear sundown. Give your code name and directions. It's no English words really. No, hey man, hey. Everything is brevity. And you have to be on your game to know, because if you don't take it in right, it could be detrimental.
Cost you your life.
Cost you a lot of lives, not just yours, but
Look, listen to that. Listen to that. Cost not just your life, but the lives of other people. So the accuracy of communication is not just about the individual. It's about saving the life of a community or society or a group.
Yeah, it's about the collective. Yeah.
See that? You see? That's why I like to listen to what the military go through, man. You have to listen to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's because they follow codes. Yeah, they follow codes. Yeah, they do follow codes.
Can't afford. Yeah. It's life and death.
Hey, IC3, and then you might go River City. You get what I'm saying? And then nothing. You just have to rely on your training. River City is restricted communications. Lights out, buddy. Your training. Revert on all training. Protocol. Everything is protocol.
Explain that again.
Yeah, perfect. Please. It has to be protocol. Like you said, it has to be organized. And we have to organize.
Yeah, please expound on that.
Jacob.
Exactly what you meant. I heard what you said, but go on.
Say like we're in an area where people is intercepting us, everything. They might have figured out your call signs for the day. They might have figured out everything. You will go restricted communications, meaning everything you rehearse, fall back to that. You know what you rehearse. You get what I'm saying? Automatically, everybody got to know that. Everybody has to know. All them months and days and hours you was rehearsing for River City, it's initiated. And you ain't talking to nobody. I mean, I'm talking about from drops to spots to everything. Everything is
slow down a bit. Slow down. Let me see if I catch what you're saying there. Right. Sometimes are you saying that sometimes your call signs or communication language can get intercepted by the enemy, and when that happens, you revert to what?
We revert to everything that was briefed beforehand, before the mission, before you left. You get what I'm saying? Everything is calms, and then when the lights go out, River City, everything you briefed and trained, you have to revert to that. Whether it's, you know, where you think is good or bad, you have to resort to what was briefed for that phase of River City. We have 2 River City
What's River
calls.
City? What's River City?
Restricted communications. Meaning, if we feel like our daily call signs has been compromised or anything.
Oh, right. Look, hold it. Slow down. You were saying River City, right? So River City is RC, which means restricted communications. Is that correct?
Right. Lights out. Right. Lights out. Everything you rehearsed and pre-planned, it is a go. It's green light. If you were supposed to spot at 36 degrees, you be there. Everything we falling back to that.
Right.
Wow.
Interested. River City. I thought you talked about a place.
No, River City is a restrictive community. When you hear that, River City, lights out. All your pre-planned stuff is in effect. You get what I'm saying? You might rules of engagement is depending on where you at. You get what I'm saying? So every rule. See, people think rules of engagement varies from mission to mission. You get what I'm saying? So everything is whatever you rehearse for that area, for the threats, for everything is rehearsed, is briefed, and when the lights go out, it is what it is.
So what do you mean rules of engagement? Expound a bit on that.
Sometimes I don't want to say too much, but sometimes you can't shoot unless you're being shot at. Right?
Oh, right.
And some areas it shoot first. Don't wait for them to shoot at you. You get what I'm saying?
So you're told the rules of engagement.
That's all packed in River City Package 1 and River City Package 2.
Look at this, man. You see, that's why you have to listen. You know, because to deal with the white supremacists, we have to be operating like that. Because that's how they operate. That's why they're organized tight.
Yeah.
Why just a few of them can run so much? Because they're tight. They go with a mission. When you think they're coming to be friends, come and sit down with you and map out your land and map out where you live, and you and eat and drink with you, you think that they're just we're just interested. No, they're on a mission. They're on a mission.
Okay, my brother. Yeah, and that's why we need to be in the mission as well. That's why we need to be in that mission. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct, my friend. And I think
we ain't nowhere near ready for that, brother. You talk about these people out here is sophisticated. They train. Our army our military force is well trained. So is the UK. Everybody got a well trained force. You get what I'm saying? Everybody is on. See, you trying to come through it through the lens of kumbaya. This world ain't playing kumbaya, brother.
I never did. I think you.
That's what I hear you
misunderstand.
Talk. I be like, man, they not
I'm
playing
not talking
like
about
you playing, brother. They on some
no
other
such thing
shit.
as kumbaya. Yeah, there's no such thing as kumbaya.
That's why I stay way out in the country now. So just in case I know every part of my land, if you come on my shit, I need to know who you is.
Right. Or you could get shot.
You ain't could. You got about a good 5 minutes to identify yourself.
Yeah. But when it comes for example, okay, so if you talk about
yourself, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
I think his 5 minutes is being generous. He got a few seconds. Who's that? Who goes there? Identify yourself.
I'm gonna let that dog go, and if he goes silent, game on.
Yeah. As you said, GOJ, you said you've been in the continent as well, doing
all over
your work. Yeah. And I want to know, because I know that I think the biggest base that you guys have in Africa is in Djibouti, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Horn is one of the biggest joint allied commands. You got HOA 1 and HOA 2. We was outfitted out of HOA 2 for the most part, but my unit was we was doing embassy calls, right? Embassy missions. Well, we was pretty much my whole 6 years over there was sex trafficking, bringing people, embassy calls. Embassy give us a itinerary, some pictures, and we go do what we do. We sipped in Nigeria. We sipped all of what sip is shelter in place. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Say
okay.
that again.
So it's
Say
a
that again.
code. See, everything you say is a code.
Yeah,
Sip.
do you understand? So he's talking. He's going into military mode and just talking as if
That's why
we would
I gotta
understand
say
what
it
he's
out when I'm
talking
talking
about.
about. We sip is almost like a safe house, but not to the extreme. We sipped in a lot of places, waiting on rendezvous points to get to where we needed to get to and stuff like that. So we sipped in a
Right.
lot of places.
Okay.
And sip
Right.
means just relax, have a sip, relax until you get further tasking,
Right.
or just to bring it
Yeah.
back to 808-1, which is the horn, or
Yeah,
Djibouti.
Yeah.
Djibouti.
Somali.
Okay, nice man.
That
Yeah,
that
they
area
have a
there.
lot of them. They have the Somali Afar and I think it's the Somali and Afar mainly in Djibouti.
That's why I laugh when people be telling me about Africa. I was like, bruh, I love Africa. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to live there because I
Why?
seen it.
Okay.
And I
So
say
why
this
you?
because only reason I
Yeah.
say this, brother, because when you push Pan-African, I told you this before. You have to
Yeah.
push it on that continent first because they are in
Yeah.
tribal beef. Black people
Yeah.
look black. Most of our embassy calls was black people selling black people.
Yeah, of course. It's in the continent. So yes, I'm 100% sure what you're saying is
Yeah.
correct. And the systems in Africa are rampant in corruption. And I know that for sure, mate.
In Nigeria alone, northern Nigeria, pretty much all of it. All of them are under white supremacy, just in a black face.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And you know it because a little bit more in a way that I understand. And I didn't know that it was. I know that it was basically just another face there, but it's the same type of institution working in the background. Yeah, so I understand that
That's
for
all I
sure.
be saying. Leave my
Yeah.
group alone until you get that shit over there together, because I'm not letting my people come up over there, and then I got to goddamn go in my closet, pull out my old gear, and go get my daughter and them back because she went over to Africa and got goddamn caught up in some shit, and I'm gonna get mine back. Believe that.
Right.
Oh, sorry for that, bro. I didn't know that, man.
No, I'm just saying. I don't want my daughter to come over there.
Yeah.
And she be all at the mall or something. Next thing you know, she on somebody's itinerary because she didn't get snatched up and shipped out somewhere. And I said GOJ is going to get his back. I'm going to get my daughter back.
Yeah. You go Rambo on them. Yeah, I understand, bro.
That's right, like those movies, man.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
I'm gonna get it back or die
Has to
trying.
get his daughter back, man. He pulls out the
You go
guns,
hunting.
pulls out his old stuff.
You go hunting.
And I'm not in no more. So,
he comes out of retirement.
rules of engagement.
Comes out of retirement.
Yeah, hey, I see 3. I'm not in no more. But so rules of engagement, that's all me.
That's good, man.
I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to come out of a retirement, but hey, I'm gonna get my daughter back.
Yeah, maybe give it to me and we good. If not, me or you.
Serious,
Most
man. You don't want to get an
brother.
old soldier back out of civilian. And this brings us to a point. You see, the way I'm talking, I run into a lot of problems with black females. I run into a lot of problems with black females because they say that they don't like my attitude, my tone of voice, because I'm getting worse. It's getting worse and worse as the weeks go by. I'm losing it. I've lost it already, actually, but it's because I'm thinking military. I'm thinking about solutions. I can't spend hours and hours talking about the problem. It just gets I can't deal with it. I want a solution. I want to say, what is the plan? Right. Yeah. So I'm getting more and more like that all the time, and I'm becoming it's almost antisocial. I can't chill because it's like a nagging. It's like whinging. Oh, this is wrong. They're doing this. Hours and hours and hours. Talk about this is wrong. I'm being abused. This is going over there. They're starving. What is the solution?
Yeah. You're 100% right. I see.
Yeah. So I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse. Yeah. I'm going. So I'm crossing from civilian to 24 hours military, and and that's not very social. I can't. You know,
I understand that, my brother, and we will find out the solution one way or another. We have to,
have to.
and the way we are speaking right now is actually a part of the solution. So
Yes, that's
we've
right. So it's
come,
good that you're holding this.
we've already come far by just having a small discussion. I think
Yes.
going forward, now I know that with the server that I have, we can still, connect, have our discussions there when it comes to Pan-Africanism and what we want for a continent and
Yeah.
for the diaspora. And also, we can also have a space, a safe space for us to just sit down and, plan on things. That's why I have a power group on that server as well, because I want the people that, are involved and want to do this, change, the great change, to actually be in that group, and try to make power moves together,
Mm.
enforcing,
Because
our
here's my
economic
problem, man.
power.
I'm
Yeah,
right over here, and you cats. I'm like IC3, man, and I stay
yeah,
out in the sticks. You
yeah,
have white militias all around this country, man,
yeah.
who are better than some of these goddamn military outfits. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying? The way they prepare is unlike the way we prepare, which is I'm part of a squad. So when the lights go
yeah,
out, we gonna be ready. But my whole thing is everybody is on this kumbaya shit,
yeah,
and they not galvanizing the right way.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
How can
yeah,
we
yeah,
pull our
yeah, yeah.
economic sources? How can we do this? No, these
But
niggas is
that is
preparing
the
to
first.
fuck
That
you.
is the first.
Well,
That is
you
the
get what I'm
first
saying?
thing. Economics.
No, the first thing is identity, organization.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's one thing I've already did. So I have a place, a safe place for us to organize these things. So that's what I have right now. So that's still a place. That's one step forward,
Let me
as I
tell you
see it.
something, man. The difference between us and you, especially since you like history so much, especially Black Americans, Deacons of Defense, Black Power, even the FOI back in them days, you know what
Mm,
they did? They would kill you.
mm.
Like a lot of that stuff that was done over here didn't hit the newspapers and the newsreels because they
FOI. Who's the FOI?
Fruit of Islam, that was their real security force. Yeah, the
All right.
NOI and the FOI. The FOI was niggas right out of jail, murderers, but they would fuck you up. You know why the
Mm,
NOI didn't get touched during them 60s and because the police departments, everybody knew that if you touched them, they didn't care if you had a badge or anything. They was on your ass.
mm,
They was on white people
Right.
only respect violence.
mm.
Right. Interesting.
First of all, I need
Goddamn.
to say, yeah, JOJ, something is. I understand what you're saying. The thing is, like you said, in America, you have the Second Amendment, for example. You have the right to carry, yeah, but we don't. We don't in Europe.
Oh,
We don't
you
have it.
do. You do have the
We
right to
don't.
carry.
You can't. In
You
certain places
you
in Europe,
can.
no, you don't have the right to carry, my
Listen,
friend.
listen to what he's saying.
You
You're
can.
saying you can't, but what's the evidence now? Let's
Tell
hear it
me,
from both
what's the
sides.
evidence? Yeah, I need to know that.
You have the right to not get caught with it. It's a lot of people in,
Ah,
in your country right now
Ma-
who got guns, and the law
uh,
says you can't have one. But guess what?
yeah,
When shit hit the fan, you gonna be the only one without a pistol. Talking about, well,
yeah.
damn, I thought it was against the law. Hold on, time out, time out. Put y'all guns up. We wasn't supposed to have one, and you gonna be ass out.
Uh, I mean,
oh
you're
man,
right.
when you put
You're
it that
right. You're
way,
100% right. But these
when you
systems
put it
here
that way,
are
it
not
sounds
based.
bad.
These systems are not based like the American system. This system here are more socialistic. They are more communistic, which means the government owns a lot of our rights. The governments have taken already some of our rights. So that's why I'm telling you, even though we do go and purchase these things and get those, the means to defend ourselves, yeah, you will be a target by these government institutions.
Brother, if you scared, if you scared, just
I'm
get
not
off the
scared. It's
battlefield.
not scared. It's not scared. It's just that you need to understand
Because if you scared, you're gonna
certain
fuck around
things
and get
you
me
can't.
killed. And I don't need you out there. I'm ready for
Yeah,
you to go be in the
yeah.
office.
No, bro. I'm ready. But the thing is, you need to understand the reality on the ground. Do you understand? It's not the same power dynamics. It's not the same
Yeah, but
dynamics.
listen,
It's
listen to
not
the
the same
conversation.
structure is not the same thoughts
That's
that
my whole
Americans
point.
hold it.
You proved
You're
my
saying
point.
you're telling God
Yeah.
of Jacob. Listen to this. Watch what's going on here. You're telling God of Jacob, yeah, ex-military, right? You are telling him that he needs to understand. Think about that.
Spec Ops 3 years SWIC.
Yeah, you're telling him, a person
6 years
who,
total.
yeah, military, yeah, where they're going in and people are losing their lives.
Yeah, but IC3, you know the law. You can't carry here. You know that yourself.
No. But what this? Okay, let me see if I understand. What I understand God of Jacob is saying, which I don't think you catch, but maybe I haven't caught it. The law says you can't carry guns, right? No guns, right? But I've come across a lot of white people that they have guns. They let me know they have guns in their house. Right, and they know the law, but they just because I go to Speaker's Corner, so I meet some heavy people there, and the way they talk, they just say, you know, if the trouble starts, they're ready. You can just hear by the tone of voice, the kind of thing they just give you. They just know that if trouble gets down, if serious trouble happens, they can get what needs to be got quick.
Yeah, you don't bring your knife.
So
to a gunfight.
the law is for you. You say, but no, not for them. They have their stash. They all have their stash.
Damn right.
But they don't talk to you. They don't talk to. But I met them. I met those people.
I am not saying that, you know, I'm telling you, you're not alone by meeting people that have things in their backyard, yeah?
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Don't let these lights go out, because you're going to be ass out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah? I'm just going to tell you, yeah, my background as well when it comes to these things. I will tell you that I have many people that I know of, you know, not having, you know, license for one, but they have one. And then, so I know this. I know these things. Not only that, but they even military. Like these things that they're having are military. You know, and
so that's the real
it's
world.
everything. Everything from
the real,
you know, the heavy, you know, heavy artillery to other things. Yeah, but it's nothing they speak about. First of all, like you said, it's nothing they say, nothing they speak about.
That's right.
So I'm just telling you that yes, I can go 2 minutes from where I'm, you know, where I grew up. 2-3 minutes, I can just ask a friend, yeah, and he's gonna go and get me whatever I need. So I can do that, but need to tell you, yeah, you have a lot more freedom, GOJ, than we have as citizens. You have a lot more freedom in America to, you know, to form your, you know, freedoms, like freedom of speech, for example. We don't have freedom of speech.
You keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, like where I'm from,
where don't you have freedom of speech?
Where I'm from.
Where are you talking about? Somalia?
No, not Somalia.
Where are you talking about?
I'm talking about in Sweden, where I grew up. We don't have the same type of freedom of speech that is, you know, defended by the Constitution. We don't have that, bro. You can't say whatever you want. You understand? There's certain things that you can't say. You know, in front of the law enforcement officers, you can't say certain things in front of them. Yeah,
brother, you can say anything you want. I had a LT.
But in America, you can say whatever you want.
Commander, he had a spot fire that he refused. He said no out of his mouth. He was ordered to give a spot fire. He said no. You have the freedom to do whatever you want, but there is some consequences.
Was he American?
Yeah, he was American.
So he's defended by his constitutional rights.
I don't understand what you're saying. Wait a minute. Let me understand what he's saying. He said no to what?
It was an order for coordinates for a spot fire, and he wouldn't give them.
What's a spot fire? What's a spot fire?
It was really like to put exact rounds on a specific target subject or anything like that.
Right.
It was right, and he wouldn't give it because he didn't
want to
enough.
shoot.
He didn't have enough intel on this
Yeah.
situation.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
He didn't know if it was empty, and most of the shit that was it was empty building just so people wouldn't come back to him.
Mm.
But previous days, it was, I don't want to give too much, but people was going in and out this spot.
Mm.
And he wouldn't give it because he wasn't briefed on it thoroughly, and he wouldn't do it. But we had a dude over us calling for a spot fire, an opportunity fire. He wouldn't do it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Okay.
guess what? And he went through the process.
Court martial.
Yep. And he was deemed, he was cleared, and he was right back out there with about 7 months later.
Right. So the only way he could get out from the court martial is saying, "Listen, I didn't have sufficient intelligence on the spot fire."
If it ain't
and he has to
briefed,
explain it in
we
court.
ain't doing it. Yeah, if it's not pre-briefed, you get what I'm saying? Or and you get to make, if you on the ground. See, the dude that was giving orders was on the goddamn carrier, not seeing anything. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And he trying to make calls from a carrier in his staterooms, drinking the coffee and tea and biscuits and shit, and the niggas out there, you know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't give it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Serious.
So words have power, and we know that for sure.
And when they got in front of each other, they was cussing each other out. Now this was a 05, and my 03, they were cussing each other the fuck out.
Right.
Okay.
And to that LT said, "I will put fucking hands on you," because he was spec officer just like us. And that goddamn C officer was like, "Well, hold on, this is getting too serious," and he shut his ass up, even though he outranked him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, in different countries, you have rights of freedom of speech. In Europe, you have freedom of speech. You can speak. Of course, you can speak, but you also have hate speech. Yeah. So in Sweden, they prohibit hate speech.
That's but one second, can I address that? This thing about freedom of speech, hate speech, and identity.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, hate speech, and identity, and its relationship to organization. People, a group that is organized, their communication, the group that's efficiently organized, their communication is disciplined. They know who to speak to and who not to speak to. They can keep secrets. So just like you can keep a secret to yourself, there's things you know that you will not tell anybody, and it's a secret, so nobody can know because you're not telling anybody. There are people, groups of people, that they come together as an operation, and they don't talk to anybody outside the group. So if they're holding weapons you're not going to know because they're not. They control the mouth.
Yeah.
See, they're not chatting to the girlfriend. Give it to women to keep talking. Not standards that. Yeah. No, because they talk pillow talk. Pillow talk can cost you your life. That's what they're sending the women to give you sex, and you start talking, blabbering. Yeah, they're tight. Their organization is tight. Their communication is tight. Their communication is tight because the organization is tight, and the organization is tight because the communication is tight. So nobody knows if they got weapons or not because they're not talking to anybody outside. You're not one of us, so I'm not going to tell you what we've got. So the free speech. What's free speech? Free speech is that they're free speech among themselves in their group. They speak freely.
But freedom of speech, by definition, lets everyone have the right of freedom of opinion, expression, the right to include freedom, to hold opinions without interference, to seek or receive, impart information, ideas. Huh?
Where do you think freedom of speech happens?
Now, this is just the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying to you what the paper is saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. You understand?
But
I'm just saying to you.
Who wrote those papers?
Hey,
That's
family,
made by
can
the
y'all
U.
hear me? Hey, sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. Hey, but I'm about to go get ready for my little Sabbath service, Bible study thing.
Oh,
Catch y'all
okay.
on the flip side.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother. If you
All
want
right.
to
Good
check
one.
it, check the link. Yeah, go to the link and join us on a VC later on if you want to, my brother. Thank you.
Only if I see 3 there. If you there, no, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Okay.
Possibly. IC3 is we on the same wavelength.
Okay. All right.
You
Well,
wanna hug?
take care, my
You
brother.
wanna hug your way out of this shit? Ain't no hugging.
I never said that, but you misunderstood. Keep on misunderstanding. It's okay. It's fine. Hope you have a good day, anyways. Take care. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and
Freedom of
we
speech.
continue. It's just this comment sometimes are irrelevant to the actual topic. So yeah, freedom of speech. You have this freedom of speech, which is protected under the Universal Human Rights Accord that was made by the UN, etc. Then you have hate speech. So, if, for example, in the United Kingdom, you have several statutes of criminalized hate speech against several categories of people. Yeah,
Right.
the statutes forbid communication that is hateful, threatening, or abusive, and targets a person
Right.
on accounts of disability, ethnicity, or national origin. Nationality includes
Right.
citizenship, race,
Right.
religion, sexual orientation, or skin color. The
Right.
penalties for hate speech includes fines, imprisonment, or both. The legislation against sectarian hate in Scotland, which is aimed to aim for football matches, does not criminalize jokes about people's beliefs, nor outlaws harsh comments about their religious faith. So they have a freedom of speech when it comes to harsh comments on people's religious beliefs and people's beliefs in general. Then
Mhm.
America, they don't have any any laws that protects people from hate speech. So they can speak out and they can say, "Oh,
Okay,
I
but
hate
listen to
you,
this.
I hate you, I hate your kind, I hate everything." You know, they can really go out and have a proper hate speech campaign on the streets, you know, telling, "I hate you for your kind," and they are protected by the
But
United
how
States.
can you have free speech and no hate speech? It doesn't work.
They
It's a
have free
conflict,
speech
isn't it?
and hate speech. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's contradicting, bro. So for us as
Yeah,
Europeans
that's right. So
or
yeah, because
African
if it's free
Europeans,
speech, it's free speech. That's it.
yeah, you should have the right to
Anything
speak.
goes. If it's free, if it's really free
Yeah,
speech, if it's true free speech, anything
yeah,
goes.
yeah. Freedom of speech. That's what they say. They
Yeah,
have a name for it.
yeah,
Freedom of speech. In America,
yeah.
yeah, so they are protected by the United States Supreme Court and the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. It is in their First Amendment. It's
Mm,
in their First Amendment
yeah,
of the United
yeah.
States Constitution.
Right.
So yeah. So when it comes to Sweden, for example, they prohibit hate speech
Yeah.
and define it in a
So
publicity-making
yeah.
statement.
Okay, solutions. Let's solutions now.
Solutions.
So yeah.
Solutions
So what do
for
you think? What would be your view now to organize Africa and the African diaspora? Would you still want to keep with the idea of trying to persuade all of Africa and the African diaspora to accept African as the unifying name or title, or would you think maybe some kind of code or an
yeah, I
alternative
mean,
name?
in a nutshell, you know, African solutions or to African problems, yeah, implies that we need to have the time for Africans to take things in their own hands and make
Okay, but
use
how
of
about the
their.
diaspora,
They have to make
the
use of their
African
resources.
diaspora?
Yeah, they
Huh?
need to take. They need to. Yeah, be able to use the resources that they have to solve the African problem.
Right.
understand?
So let me see if I understand. Let me see if I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying that the African diaspora,
Mhm.
they must take on an African identity and
First of
link
all.
up with the African mainland and
Mhm.
organize as a whole,
Mhm.
as a
But
solution
first, we
to
need
Africa.
to, yeah, but we need to first start as a unit, yeah, and then splinter
Hold it.
ourselves.
Who's the
Yeah.
we you're talking about? Are you talking about the African mainland must organize itself first and then organize a diaspora afterwards under African identity, or what? What are you
No,
saying?
we have to governize the African thoughts, that solution that we want for Africa or for African people, for African continent, to
Right.
be
So
created
wait a minute.
in the
Are you
continent as
saying?
well. Yeah.
Well, are you saying that the African continent
Mm.
has to be unified under African identity first?
Boom.
Yes or no?
Yes, 100%.
And then um, try to get the African diaspora,
Mhm.
the people of African roots, to
Yeah,
then accept African identity. Is that correct?
exactly. Hence the reason
Right.
why I said
Okay. I understand the
economic.
model. I can
Yeah.
understand the model. Right.
And
Right.
economics
So,
as well. We can't leave out economics because
no. Yeah. But
economics.
economics is nothing. Economics is
Yeah,
easy. Once you have an organization, the
yeah,
economics automatically gets sorted out. People just sort out their money. They sort out. They know who they're dealing with. So
yeah. But
economics
as
is
a group,
easy.
as a unit,
Yeah,
we
it
need
doesn't
to.
matter. It's
Yeah.
easy. Economics is easy once you
Okay.
know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So economics is it's automatic
Mm,
once you organize yourselves.
mm.
Yeah.
Once we organize
Yeah.
ourselves, we can then tackle, with the help of
Economics.
economics, we can
Yeah.
tackle, for example, hunger. Why?
Right.
Yeah, we can use
Right.
economics. Why?
Right.
We can also use economic models like, not economic models, but more industrial models like
Yeah. Oh, okay.
agriculture.
1 second. 1 second. Let's
Yeah,
stick with the point you was making.
yeah.
I want to explore what you were saying and the
Mm,
model, the vision you have.
mm,
So, what is your vision then with your model? How do you perceive you can effectively organize the African continent?
mm,
What vision, what plan do you have for effectively organizing the African continent first? What's
mm.
the plan?
To effectively organize the African continent, we need to, like we said first, unify within one common identity.
Right, and what's
First of
that
all,
identity?
African identity. So we're talking about,
African.
yeah,
Yeah, but all
African
the Africans are
identity.
going to say they're African.
Yeah, but let me
All the
just
people in Africa,
yeah,
right?
let me
They're going to
continue.
say they're African. So,
Yeah, let me
what?
continue. Let
Yeah,
me
go on.
continue. Yeah, so I was not finished proving my point.
Go
So
on.
what we can use, it's something that can combine us. So I got what I gave people a part of that solution, which was language, because language is a major barrier in Africa. We have
Okay,
more
so
than
what language then?
3,000.
What language?
Yeah. So I just want to tell you the demographics first. So in Africa, we have more than 3,000 languages. So
Yeah.
instead of having 3,000 languages that we are using, we can instead incorporate one language for the whole continent. That will make it easier for us to do economics, easier for us to do infrastructure business or infrastructure work on the continent
Yeah, I
from east
understand.
to west, north to
Yeah, I
east.
understand.
Yeah.
So
So
what
I
language is
said
that? What
Swahili.
language?
Swahili.
Swahili.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I understand your model.
Yeah.
So basically, convince
Yeah.
all Africans on the African continent
Mm.
to learn Swahili as the official language.
Mm.
Okay, and so they
Official
were
language
teaching
for
them.
economics and official language for barriers that we need to break some barriers, and one of those barriers is to understand our identity. So if we can understand our identity through a language, it's easier for us. So we're going to have a curriculum a new curriculum. That's what I was thinking about. So a new curriculum with a new language, and forming a new culture in African identity, African culture.
Right. Hold that there. Hold it there.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mm.
how about Somali people then? The Somali people aren't going to give up their Somali culture
Mm.
for the culture of the South Africans. Are you are you going to try and persuade the Somalis to drop Islam and the
No, that's
West
not
Africans
the,
to
yeah,
drop
that's not
Christianity?
the, that's not the issue. Yeah, the issue is not religion. I can prove you this through, people that were people from Africa that were one of the founders of the idea of Pan-Africanism. I will show you. I will also give you this information afterwards. Not right now because we are in this in a session, but after the session, I will give you some information about a person that actually, didn't have any problems with religion itself, because religion is not the problem.
One second.
Because
Let me see if I
religion is
understand you.
something. Yeah,
Well,
religion is
let's go
something
bit
that
by bit.
you.
Wait,
Yeah,
let's go bit by bit. So,
yeah, yeah.
unite Africa
Mm,
under one language,
mm,
Swahili,
mhm.
and
Forming a new culture, an African culture.
right, and the African culture
Mm,
will allow for all the different religions
yeah,
and ways of life
yeah,
of all the different
exactly,
African people. Will that
exactly.
is that correct?
Yes, because we are
Right,
the founders of many of these ones. So, so we need to also understand that we are original people. If you're original people, you are an original people. Me, you, everyone from the continent originally are original people, the people of the Ethiops. So we are an original kind. So we can't say, religion is, something that, separates us. No, it can actually, help us in many ways. But we have to
right,
also find the separation between these two things we want to build and our
right,
continent.
right. Okay, let me see if I
So,
understand you so
yeah.
far. 1 second. So, unite Africa
Mm,
under the Swahili language,
yeah.
and the Swahili language will
Mm,
be um, a secular
mm,
language.
mm,
So religion,
yes.
the secular state
Mm,
using the Swahili language will
yeah.
not um, try to affect people's religious way of life.
No, because look
Right.
at Turkey, for
Okay.
example. Turkey is it's a state that's
Secular
not run.
country.
Yeah, it's a secular state, but it's
Yeah, but
still
not with
Muslims
lots of
that live
Muslims
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still a
Yeah.
secular state, and it
Yeah.
works, and it works very good. Why? Because you don't, in a way, interfere with people's spirituality. You know, you're not interfering in,
Interesting.
you're not
Interesting.
interfering into their spirituality, even though I think, some people use that to form a law-abiding, a law-abiding citizens. They want to form, people that are more law-abiding, and they
Okay.
use,
1 second.
yeah,
What do you think about this then? You're originally from Somalia, aren't you? Your people, your
from
descendants,
Somaliland. My father is from Somaliland. I wouldn't say Somalia. I would say
right?
Somaliland.
Somaliland. Okay.
And my
So
mother is from Ethiopia,
Somaliland.
so I'm half Ethiopian. Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
Ethiopia, Somaliland,
yeah,
they're secular states, correct?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The thing
So
is,
there's lots of Muslims in
Somaliland
Somalia, but not
has
all Somalis are Muslim. Right.
all of them are, most of them are. So
Right. Right.
sorry
But
for, I
it's
need
still
to correct
separate.
myself. I need to
Yeah.
correct myself there. They use Sharia law in Somaliland. They do use
Really?
Sharia law. Yeah, they
Well,
do.
hold it. Hold it. Do they
Yeah,
use Sharia law in Somaliland?
yeah, they do.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a part of constitution. Yeah. So they using Sharia law as a force of,
Right. So you want to get them
but it's
to
still,
leave
yeah.
to drop Sharia law from the Somaliland
I don't think
constitution.
they will. I don't think they will.
Well, where's
But
your faith?
the
You got
thing
to
is,
believe in your mission.
I don't think that is the brunt of the problem that we have as Africans. Do you understand?
What's the
I
brunt
don't
of the
think
problem?
the brunt of the problem is, first of all, our economical situation. I think
Hold
when
it there.
we
Hold it there. Hold it there. The
Yeah.
brunt of the problem
yeah
is our economic situation. That's what you
yeah
you just said that.
yeah
You just said the brunt of the problem
yeah
is our economic situation.
yeah
So in our discussions this evening,
yeah
we already agreed, I thought we agreed,
yeah
that before you can sort out economic problems,
yeah
you have to clarify identity.
yeah yeah
So, because you just said the
yeah
brunt of our, see that word? That's why
Mhm.
that's why I was referring to this. Is the our?
yeah
See,
yeah
us, we, our, us,
yeah
we, our. See, you're using the word our.
mm,
So the brunt, you said the brunt of our
mm,
economic problems,
mm,
right? So you got to sort out the our. Who exactly are the our? Who
mm,
exactly are the we? Who exactly
mm,
are us? Once that is clarified,
mm.
the economic problems will be sorted out themselves because people know who they want to trade with and how they want to trade.
Yeah.
So
But
if you keep
religion
thinking
in
about,
itself should not
if you,
be it shouldn't
sorry,
be the limit. You understand? It shouldn't be
what's that?
the thing. The religion shouldn't be the thing that limits us or the thing
Yeah,
that
no, I'm not
divides
talking
us.
about religion. I'm talking about
Yeah.
economics,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Versus identity.
yeah.
So if you, the way
Mm,
you're thinking economics, you got to sort out the economics.
yeah.
But I don't. I disagree with that.
Mm,
I'm saying you got to sort out the identity. You got to clarify the people
mm,
who you're organizing. You got to find a
yeah.
way
Yeah.
to organize.
Yeah.
Then
And
once
that's
you
that. I
organize the
mean, sorry.
people,
Yeah.
the economics is nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing we spoke about in the first beginning was the first problem. First problem is identity. That's what I
Yeah.
said. So I'm not against what you're saying. It is
Mm.
identity. But economics will bear the brunt of that problem that we have in Africa. Identity is going to be one of those things that we need to manifest. We need to manifest something that binds us as a united force. So
But
first, new
go on.
curriculum, new language, new culture, and these are the things. These are the three aspects that I believe we will need in order for us to even form an economical solution. Because
Yes.
if you don't
Yes.
speak the same language, yeah, it's going to be very difficult for you to make business with a person from a Khoisan background because he only speak click. You don't understand click,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
speak Cushitic. They speak click. How can we
Right.
communicate? We find a common language where we can speak to each other, and then communicate that economic force together. We communicating. Once we communicated, now we can start doing things together because now he understands me, I understand him. There's no barriers anymore. The ethnicity is gone as well. And when it comes to the nitty gritty, the ethnicity will disappear in a way. Even though you have your cultural background, the ethnicity bit, the thing, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that will disappear because now we all are under one language where we can communicate with each other. And then you go out back to your
Yeah. Oh,
people.
and that's obvious. That's
Yeah,
obvious. Yeah.
yeah,
That I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
That's correct. What you're saying.
yeah,
Now, the thing is now, what is the best way to promote your idea? Do you what you're having forums and meetings like that,
yeah.
uh, but it's only just now
Mm,
that yeah, I haven't seen your plan anywhere. You see,
yeah,
I thought it's only
yeah,
by asking you questions that I'm actually finding what your plan is. Your
Yeah.
plan is to unite Africa under the
Yeah.
language, the Swahili language,
Yeah.
and at this as the secular. See, so
Yeah.
these things you need to write down, so I could read it, and then when I come onto your thing, I know what we're discussing, because I'm only just finding out what your position is, because I haven't seen it written anywhere. I
Yeah.
didn't know that
It has
you were
been
trying
written
to.
actually through my petition, which I want everyone, if you can,
Where is it? Where
please
is it?
go into my petition. I will put the link now on the description, in the description section. Get yourself
All
into
right.
into the description section. I will put it up now, and
All right.
that's the link right there for the actual petition.
What, Discord?
It isn't. It is on Discord, yes, but the petition is separate. So it's in a.
Oh,
in
right.
a different,
Okay. So you have a petition. Okay. So
yeah,
where's the
and
link then?
yeah, I put the link up already. I think the link is there. If you
I can't see it.
You
I
can't
can't
see.
see it.
Okay, wait. Let me put it back on. Because I did put it on. Yeah, it's up there. It's in the
Oh, right.
description. Yeah,
CH change. Okay.
that
It's a
one. Yeah.
petition.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let me
So the
click
petition itself tells
Allow
you.
change in Africa for the future.
Mm.
Change.org. All right. So 168 have signed. Let's go to 200. So this is your plan, yeah?
Mm.
Did you put it together?
Yeah, this is all mine. This is all me.
Only 200 people you want.
I want more.
So why you put
So
200?
it's barriers. So it's barriers. It's barriers. Every time I break a barrier, yeah.
Right.
So 200 is a new barrier. When I break that barrier,
Right. Okay.
yeah, 300 is going to be the new barrier.
Right.
When
So
I break
who are you petitioning?
petitioning the African people, bro. The African diaspora.
Right. Yeah, but where will you send the petition?
This petition will be sent to the African Union, the head of African Union.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So let me see.
This is going directly towards the head.
I'm going
of
to
state.
doing this petition to let the people of Africa have a voice, as it is voiceless. Okay.
Yeah. So if you go through it there,
I'm
understand.
reading it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't mention Swahili. I haven't seen it mentioned here.
No, it's not
Is
there.
it here?
It's not there. It's not there.
Why isn't it here?
Because I'm going to formulate that more in the server, in the community I'm building. It's not in the petition. The petition is more economic.
I told
So
you. You're going back to the economic again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me listen to you
for
on
GOJ
economics.
to say that one
Unless you're an
universal
economic
language
major.
one universal culture and language will never exist. It's not even true, because he has to understand that even more than 200 million people in Africa speak Swahili. If 200 million people, yeah, that's more than 20% of the African population speaking this language, which is Swahili. It's nearly close to the same population, the whole population of America, United States of America. And he's saying that people can't even speak this language and have one unified culture. Rubbish. We can. Most definitely we can. And it's just time.
You haven't even got the word secular.
Secular, no. So the petition
you haven't
itself,
even got the word there.
If you read the petition, it's for a specific it's a specific thing that I want to do. It's a project where I want to build village by village. So this is an economic strategy that I have for the specific villages in Africa. So this is an economic output that I have petitioned for Africans to sign the petition, so I can send this to the head of African Union, so that they understand that we are demanding certain things from our leaders in Africa.
So right, so you're basically putting a petition to tell the African Union to build houses. That's the bottom line, correct?
Yeah, not to build houses, but to build communities, cooperative communities, and this is going to be a grassroots movement by the people, for the people. So it's going to be freedom that the people is going to take by themselves. We're going to buy a plot of land. We're going to start
hold it. If you want for the people, why are you asking the government to do it?
Yeah, because I'm not asking the government. This is a petition which I will prove for them. The more people who sign it,
why communicate with the government? Get to do it. To communicate with the people. What are you
Yeah.
petitioning the government for?
it's one of those things that I want. It's a good question.
But you see, it sounds confusing. First,
Yeah.
you're saying you want the people to be independent and build up their own houses and communities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And yet you're petitioning the government to let the people build their own
No,
communities.
I'm not petitioning the government. I'm just proving a point, more or less.
How are you what are you proving? All you're doing is just what? How are you
I'm
proving?
laying out a framework economically for us.
Where's the economic
It's like
framework?
a
I can't see any
manifesto.
numbers
It's
here.
like a manifesto. It's not actually a petition. It's more like a manifesto of it. You
Yeah,
understand?
but he says this is for petitions. That's what this is
Yeah.
for.
Yeah. And
So
I
why
want
are you
anyone.
using a petition place when it's not
Yeah.
a petition?
Yeah. I'm
It's
gonna
not
use it.
a petition. So why are you using a petition? Why are you trying to get signatures on a petition when you don't want a petition? It's confusing.
No, it is a petition for the future.
Yeah, but you
Reason
just told me
why?
it's not.
Yeah,
You just told me it's not.
It is a petition to allow change in Africa.
Right. Okay. So it's a petition. Who are you petitioning? You're petitioning the United Nations. Is that correct?
Not the United Nations, the African Union.
Who are you petition? Who is the petition going to be sent to?
African
once you've got the
Union.
numbers?
I just said African
Oh,
Union,
sorry.
not United Nations.
I made a mistake. So so
African
once you've
Union.
got the right numbers, you're going to send this petition to the African Union.
Head office of the African Union.
Right. To the head office of the African Union, and say you've
make
got 20 million.
Congress.
You've got 20 million signatures.
Yeah.
And once you got 20 million or a large number of signatures,
you
put it together and send it.
I'm gonna pressure them into understanding that the African youths and the elders with the diaspora will be the front line of this new change, this real change that we want to form in Africa. And we are all doing this united. Hence the reason why I'm saying we're going to start occupying these things.
Hold it.
Even African Union will be occupied.
Hold it.
Yeah.
So you're putting together this petition.
Yeah.
And just because a large number of people have signed the petition, you think that now is a way of unifying. Everybody who signs a petition is unified. So you can use the word we.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at the response,
no, that's not good enough. That's not good enough to organize people.
Listen, there's reasons.
People sign things for different reasons.
Okay,
you
look
have to
at the
know why
reasons.
they're signing it.
You go all the way down. If you go
Let
all
me
the
go.
way down,
one second. Let me go down.
You will see it says reasons for signing. You will see what people say, the reasons for them to sign, why they signed the petition. You will see it, and you will understand.
Reasons for signing. Africa is the mother of the world. We
That's
need
one of them.
A united Africa voice,
and force. You see that? Voice and force.
And force.
Yes. I'm signing the petition because Africa is better when united and standing alone. We are children of Africa.
Oh, look, this is all about I want, we need. All these people, they're not being clear exactly who the we is.
Some of them
don't
are
know
clear.
If you ask them, what exactly is an African?
There says here, one person says, I'm signing because I want to move in one direction. Boom. That summarizes what I'm saying. We're moving in one direction.
Just wanting to move in one direction. What does that mean? What is the actual direction?
What
does it actually mean? I want to move in one direction. What's that? What does it actually mean?
That we're moving forward together. That's what it means.
Forward in what?
In the thought process
see, all these
of
words.
changing.
One second. Look. Watch this. Slow this down. To say you want change, you want to move forward, you have to give the details of exactly. There's no mention of the word Swahili. There's no mention of the word. So all these people say we need change, we need this, we need this. They might not even know that you plan to make Swahili the official
You haven't
language.
read the whole petition, but I want you to do it in your private time. Whenever
Wait
you
a
have the
minute.
time.
Have you got the word Swahili in the petition?
No, I don't have the word Swahili in the petition.
Yes, I'm going through it right now. I'm scaling right the way through it, and that's why I know.
I don't have that.
I'm looking through it right now. I'm looking at this the
So
petition.
what I've formed in the server is a power group. Yeah, that's the task force that will consist of people from all walks of life. Yeah, with deep experience in international, global politics, and with this also being creating opportunities for more impact on how things are running in the public and in the private sector. And with that being said, we're going to form this power force or task force, as they say, yeah, to actually formulate these things. So I will have a person with economical background. I will have a person with a political background. I will have a person with linguistic background. I will have a person with, all these sectors.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah?
Good. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So if you don't read what I'm writing, it's very hard for you to understand what I actually want. And that's why
I know that. That's quite simple. That's obvious. When you're organizing something, but you don't mention exactly that you want Swahili, the details. You're just saying what you want, and everybody say we need this, we need that. It's the standard. But what they don't know the actual model, and I think what you're saying is you will give those details at a later date.
Exactly. Yep. So when you join,
got it.
So if you join the group,
it's not in the petition. It's not.
No, that's outside. The outside. That's outside.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So reading the petition is not going to tell me all that. I only got that by talking to you. It's not in the petition. The petition's not saying anything. It's just saying we need, we want. No actual plan. So that plan will come later on.
Yeah.
It'll
there
come
is
later
some
on.
of the plan is there, but
pardon?
Some of the plans are there, but they are more economical orientated. So yeah.
I didn't see any numbers. Okay. So I'm going to watch and see how you progress. It's good. You're doing something. You're organizing for the African Union, and we'll watch and see how it goes. Anyway, that's it for tonight. For me.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. That is.
Thank you very much.
That's
Keep
it.
up the nice work. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in and giving your say as well. And thank you as well, GOJ, for
until
being
next
here.
time.
Until next
Take
time.
care.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Power to the people. Blessed. So so we have come to the end of this, and it's always good for us to have these discussions, as we all know. There will be people, or any type of people that are, wanting to understand the purpose of the greatest Africa, to question it. And it's good to do that, because we are here to question things. We are here to try to understand ourselves and to communicate and try to come to a solution, a proper solution. Hence the reason why we want to also be of a group that are for change. We are here to change certain things. Hence the reason why I'm giving you the links for the petition. If you guys want to be a part of that change, you're more than likely to come in and sign a petition. I will soon start our foundation as well, our funding, where people can actually fund for the project that I want to build in and around Africa, and also getting people to get more involved in the process by joining the Discord server that we have, which is Greatest Africa, and it's in the description box. I will put it in again so that people can see that it is there. So I will put it in the description box. Join the Discord server. And this server itself is going to be more of a server where we can formulate the ideas that we have spoken about. For example, Pan-Africanism. What is Pan-Africanism for you, for me, and for everyone that it's joining the server? What is it that what type of aspirations do you have, or visions do you have for the continent in the near future? What is it that you have? What type of educational background do you have to provide any form of contribution for the actual change that we want to see, the great change that we want to see in our lives? And also make sure that the factions go away more, because we need to find a common space where we can discuss and take away those factions that we have, that we have, that is actually just brought on us through, classism, racism, ethnicity, etc. We need to try to always sort these other sectors of our life and find a commonality. Hence the reason why we are going to have this group, the Greatest Africa, on Discord, for anyone that wants to learn about Africa, anyone that wants to re-educate themselves. As I said, we have a power group in the server itself. We have communication for the nation, channels there talking about everything from speaking your own mind to African debates, to African literature, world debates, political science. We have open basket here as well, like the podcasts where we discuss educational things that has to do with Pan-Africanism, etc. We have this knowledge of self sector as well, where we have everything from prehistoric artifacts, African connection, where we connect throughout the diaspora. We have Pan-Africanism, the more intellectual forums for Pan-Africanism, where we have, for example, Edward Wilmot, Blyden, and other Pan-Africanist leaders speaking about their vision for Africa. So there were a lot of leaders in Africa, a lot of intellectuals speaking about Pan-Africanism and what we need to do for our communities. We have the African Lingua section, where we are trying to form a unity in language. So what we said in this topic was more orientated towards Swahili, and that's something that we're going to have in our African Lingua section, where we only going to teach, learn Swahili. And under that, we have voice chats, different voice chats, talking about ethnicity discussions, issues within the different ethnicities in Africa. You have a section of just African music. As we all know, music was used also as a political tool, and not only a political tool, but also an educational tool. So a lot of educational music will be there for people to learn about certain things, certain aspects. We have investments as well, so African investments. Anyone that are keen on learning more about African investment and maybe want to invest in Africa more, we have a place for that as well, where you can sit and you can just discuss about what your plans are for the diaspora coming back home to Africa. We have another one, which is another section here talking about news from Africa through the world. We also have an IT section where we also speak about technology, computer technology, and the last section here is New Africa, which is the section of vision, where we bring the vision of Africa, the united vision of what we want Africa to be seen from the outside in. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for being here, discussing. I know that we had a lot of misunderstanding, but now we got more clarity in our aspects, in our visions, and what we want to communicate going forward. I want to say thank you, everyone, who participated in this podcast. And I want to say power to the people again. Peace.